How to avoid the biggest crypto scams and blunders for dummies. Unfortunate things not only happen to the new and naive dummies in Web3, but also to those who are experienced and may have had an unfortunate lapse in judgment. Make sure that you're always on your guard and skeptical. I hope this guide will help protect you and recommend you to go through it thoroughly. Download your Web3 Solana wallet from the correct source. A lot of scams will slightly alter the names of sites and make a fake copy site which is easily overlooked. Cross-verify the site's website or app domain on the Twitter account. Check for large follower count. And even in this case, make sure it's spelled correctly, as there are fake large Twitter accounts sometimes too. Even Twitter accounts get hacked and they will post fake scam links out of the blue. So make sure you're double-checking everything and looking for signs of sketchiness. Use a password manager and two-factor authentication where you can. With passwords, you want to store them securely and not in places where others can access easily. SIM swap hacks often occur for two-factor authentication systems, so other forms of 2auth are recommended, such as Google Authenticator. My personal preference is Tofu, open source application for iOS. You should be using this even for your social media accounts. If someone hacks you and tries to scam other people, that would suck to be held liable for. Use a hot wallet system. Have a cold wallet that you don't connect to any apps and which you use to store the majority of your funds. This means that you should have separate hot wallets that you use to connect to apps with lesser amounts of funds, and your cold wallet never interacts with apps and stores larger amounts. This is somewhat analogous to a savings checking system, where your cold wallet is your savings account and your hot wallet is your debit credit card that you buy things with. From your cold wallet, you can transfer larger amounts to your hot wallets on demand, but otherwise, your hot wallet should only store smaller amounts that wouldn't leave you in tears if hacked. Oftentimes, people will buy a hardware wallet to use as a cold wallet. But if you don't have one for some reason, most major Solana wallets support having multiple wallet addresses when you log in, which means you can make one address which you don't use to interact with apps. And you can use other hot wallets, which store lesser amount of funds and you use to interact with apps. Even with cold wallets, it is good practice to spread around your funds across multiple places. If you somehow lose access to that specific cold wallet, you don't want to be screwed. So you can mitigate the impact by distributing your funds across different cold wallets, wallet providers, or even centralized exchanges. I personally keep most of my funds on chain, but also keep some on Coinbase to distribute the risks. Once you get more comfortable with these things, consider multi-sigs for some situations. Link in the description. Coins that magically appear in your wallet are almost always scams. They typically include links to airdrops, websites, etc. Do not click those links and sign any transactions. I would not recommend interacting with them, and especially sign transactions on unknown websites. In general, clicking any airdrop links or things that sound too good to be true is dangerous. Try searching the Solana subreddit or official Twitter accounts related to these things for further confirmation. And even then, make sure you are triangulating information from multiple sources when verifying. Remember to use a hot wallet when interacting with any of these things, even if you've cross-verified for the most part. Social media influencers and accounts with big followings are using meme coins to scam people and get away with it. Hawk2a, Cardi B, Donald Trump, Telegram groups where you send $500. They trade it for you, and in 2 days, you get back $5,000. Do not trust people who DM you out of the blue with help. Be extremely skeptical of people offering help if you do not know these people, and even if you think you know them, be skeptical of sharing any personal information, never share your seed phrase, etc. Sometimes people you know can have their social media accounts hacked, and so they might not even be the person you're speaking with. Send test transactions. Many people incorrectly type the address and their funds become unrecoverable. Sometimes they send to the right address, but it's on another network and is not recoverable. If you are trying to send a token that can be on multiple networks, for example USDC on Solana, Ethereum, etc., Make sure the token that you have is being sent on the right crypto rails, or you will lose that money. Make sure you see that a small test transfer goes through to the address you are sending to when sending significant amounts. Also, copy and paste addresses and double check the beginning and end of the address. There are many stories where people incorrectly type their address or copy only part of an address and then send their funds to an unrecoverable address location. Some scams even involve making the beginning and end of an address look similar to the original one. Apps being open sourced, meaning the code is publicly available and verifiable, is the ideal in crypto and also a good sign. Oftentimes, you won't have the skills to verify the code yourself, but if it's in the open, it increases the probability that people with the skills have tried to verify the quality of the source. Apps should also be audited by respected auditing companies. On Solana, the major auditing companies include this list. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Web3 apps can suffer major hacks or other issues at times, which means you should distribute your risk and not stick a large majority of your funds in a DeFi protocol or anything else really. Sometimes even L1 blockchains get hacked and the value of their token might go down a lot. Spread out your risk. Remember that you're on the internet and sometimes there are scary people. Not including personal information can sometimes protect you from bad people. Even posting your transactions and addresses in public, you might regret later. Be nice to people though. Even if you think you're anonymous, this is still a community. You're on your own. Well, at least most of the time, people can do their best to help you. But ultimately, if a scammer takes your money or you send to an address you don't know, that's often it. In the case of a scammer, you may be able to contact law enforcement, but the scammers may be in another country where you have no chance to track them down. If you send crypto to a wrong address, sometimes no one is on the other end to send it back to you. And no one can help you in that case. Not even the President of the United States if he was your bestie. In crypto, patience and skepticism are your best friends. Always verify, never rush. Now go tell your mom you love her, or I'll do it for you, repeatedly.